Crazy experimental concept devices are always being worked on behind the scenes, but they don't often see the light of day. One exception to that rule is right here, the Yoga Book C930. While this is technically a two-in-one laptop like we've seen plenty of times before, what Lenovo has made here really does take the place of 4 different devices. So we're going to run down what those devices are and how the Yoga Book does at replacing each of them. Let's start with the laptop, because that's what most people are going to do with this device first. They're going to open it and they're going to start trying to type. They're going to start trying to use it as a laptop. And what you get here, a lot of the elements are there for a pretty capable laptop. It has a really nice, beautiful display. It has a pretty decent Core i5 Y series processor, and it comes with a full version of Windows 10. So you should be able to do all the things that you normally would do on your work laptop or whatever laptop you have. However, the real problem with this is the typing experience, because what you're getting here is obviously not a physical keyboard. It's an e-ink screen, which is really cool when you look at it, but when you actually in practice try to type on it, it's a very different experience. In my experience, I used it for many hours at a time, and while I found that I could eventually get a little more accuracy and precision over time, the comfort level was just not there. I found myself after a few hours my fingers felt strained, and I was really wishing I could switch to a more traditional laptop that was sitting by so I could actually get some more work done. I could probably type faster on my phone than I could on this laptop, and that should tell you something about the kind of speed and precision that you can expect from the typing experience. On top of all of that, this device doesn't have a headphone jack, and I think a lot of people are going to hear that and immediately say, that's not a true laptop, that's not something I can depend on as a laptop, and that's what you get with it. Secondly, let's talk about tablet mode, because that is the essential part of a two-in-one laptop. It has to work both as a laptop and a tablet. And because the Yoga Book C930 is so thin and light, it actually makes for an awesome tablet experience. It's 10 inches, it's similar to like a Surface Go, you'd think. However, all these devices that run on Windows 10 are just not going to be great tablet experiences because of the fact that Windows 10 is not optimized for tablets, really. You're going to find yourself going through the operating system wishing it was more optimized for touch. And of course, if you go to the App Store, you'll find that it's basically barren. And that, unfortunately, is on Microsoft. And until Microsoft does more to support these devices, you're going to wish you had an iPad most of the time when you're using it in tablet mode. The third device that the Yoga Book is trying to replace is an e-reader. This is an e-ink screen, obviously, so pretty obvious thing for Lenovo to include here. And we have a book loaded up, and you can flip through the pages, and it works just like a typical e-reader or a Kindle. There are a few downsides to using this device as an e-reader, and the first problem is that right now the device only supports PDF files. Lenovo says that EPUB support is coming in the future, so by the time this device is actually out in the hands of the public, that might be there, but right now it's only PDF, and that's not typically what people read their books on in terms of format. Secondly, the screen is not backlit, which means you can't read in the dark. You can be stuck with a little reader light if you want to do that. And that's a feature that a lot of modern new e-readers have. And it's kind of sad to not see that here, which also means you can't type in the dark, by the way. The third thing that you can't do is you can't select text. It seems like an obvious thing that you would have thought Lenovo could have done because you have the stylus, you have great tracking and everything, and yet on these files you can't select text or highlight text in any way. And lastly, it doesn't have that great of battery life. You're seeing probably around 14 or 15 hours of reading battery life, and compared to something like a Kindle, which can last for weeks and weeks, that's not quite up to the standard of an e-reader. The fourth and final thing that the Yoga Book is trying to replicate is a drawing tablet or a digitizer. And this is something that the Yoga Book does really well, actually. The stylus that comes with it is really high quality, and because you're writing down on a flat surface instead of up at an angle like a normal two-in-one, it feels really natural to write and draw on. However, again, there is one pretty significant hang-up that's going to keep this device from being able to replace something like a Wacom tablet, and that is with the software itself. Because Lenovo is using its own proprietary software here, that means it doesn't really connect into Windows 10 in any significant way. You can't just open up Photoshop or Illustrator and expect your real-time drawing to be used in those apps like it would in a Wacom tablet. It's really unfortunate, and it limits the capability of this device to something like a sketching or a note-taking app, rather than a full replacement of another device. So while the Yoga Book C930 doesn't really do a great job of replacing one or any of those devices, What it does do is show us what the future of laptops will look like. This is not the last one you'll see like this, and in fact, in the future, I think you're going to see a lot of manufacturers trying to find ways around physical keyboards to make them more like smartphones. So while the C930 might not be the ultimate solution, it is paving the way forward for what the laptops of the future will look like. Hey, thanks for checking out this review. If you want to see more from us, go ahead and hit subscribe. And while you're here, let us know what you think of the Yoga Book C930. Is this the future of laptops? Are we going to see more laptops like this with 2 screens and no keyboard? Let us know what you think. And if you want to read the full review, head over to digitaltrends.com.